Hi, welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm Lori Thorpe, Frazee Virgus Community Education Director, and I'm lucky to be here today with John Barland, who is not only an instructor at Frazee Virgus Schools, but our wrestling coach. So John does an awful lot with coordinating not only what everybody sees as the high school wrestling team, which has been very successful over the years, but the Mat Rats. So can you tell us about the Mat Rats? And we've got a poster here too. We want to be...
Right. Our Mat Rat program is a K through 6 program, and we started actually in December practicing, and I've still had kids filtering in throughout the season now as we get into the season. So if kids are interested, they can certainly still get involved in the program. I've got a schedule online at our Frazee High School website as well, so they can check out a schedule on there. And basically what we do is we practice a couple nights a week, and we've been competing in various different team tournaments. And now there's more and more individual tournaments developing over the weekends as well. We did send a team up to Fargo to wrestle at the Rumble on the Red. We also had our high school and JV team up there, so I think just about every kid that was involved in Frazee wrestling was up at the Fargo Dome. So.
That is so incredible. I guess what amazes me is the energy that is put into the coaching and at all these different levels, and the time that the parents and the coaches put in to get these kids through this.
Yeah, we do put in a tremendous amount of time, and I can't forget to include all the volunteer helpers that we have. Steve Jepson does a great job. He coordinates our Mat Rat program, and also I've got Mark Borer involved in there, Scott Eichens, and Danny Mayfield is helping out. So we've got a lot of people helping out, and so obviously with all these events going on, we need a lot of good people involved, and so they're definitely dedicated to the program, dedicated to their kids and other people's kids as well.
And that is, we really cannot do anything without that, that uplifting of that program.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about when you get those little guys in there. I think it is just such a hoot.
Well, it is pretty fun, and we do separate usually the novice kids, the K through first or second grade. They kind of work on their own, and so a lot of that is just kind of learning just how to move on the mat and a little bit of balance and a little bit of coordination, kind of learning the ropes of the trade per se. And then we break up and we have more or less 3 through 6th grade into a program, and they compete more with the team aspect. And like I said, we competed over at the Fargo Dome. We'll have a dual tournament here at Frazee on Friday, and then we're going to head to the Concordia for another dual tournament. So we're pretty competitive in that aspect.
So at, you said kindergarten, it goes down to kindergarten age?
Yeah, and we actually have some pre-K kids in there as well. So they get going 3 years old, 4 years old, so they're starting to roll around on the mats.
Tell me about, when they're that little, tell me about what they're learning.
Well, a lot of it is just kind of getting familiarized with some terms, and again, the movement, the body movement on the mat and things like that. And again, getting instruction from a coach. And part of that's a learning process too as well. So it's always, every step of the way, we kind of got a system in place, and it seems to be working pretty well. Mm-hmm.
So they're learning to listen is what you're
right, and that's a big part too. And same thing in the classroom, they got to learn those skills, listening and taking it from a different person other than mom or dad. So that's sometimes the separation anxiety, things like that. It's just a learning process that the kids develop at that age.
So it's a fun thing to watch when they're going at that.
Yeah.
So what's your best laugh?
Well, they're always asking me what game do we get to play, or what game do we get to play at the end of the practice. So that's probably their biggest motivation to say for at the end of the practice is that what game we're going to play. So it's always building to that, it seems like.
Okay. And your favorite game?
We play spider tag. And usually I get to be the spider and chase the kids around, and then they go from there.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So, folks, support the wrestling at this level too, and in many other sports we have activities going on at young age groups as well as the high school level. That's a wrap up for Spotlight on Frazee. We'll be back in a minute. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, welcome back to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm Lori Thorpe, your host for today, standing in for Hank Ledke, who is off at a meeting or doing something fun. I'm not sure which, but we're here with Carrie Schultz. And Carrie is our Early Childhood Family Education Coordinator for the Frazee Virgus District. And Carrie, she has got so much coming up. Can you tell us about the
We do.
brochure?
We have a lot coming up. Immediately I'll share with you, or stuff that's just coming up immediately, and that will be Bowling with Dad. That's going to take place this Saturday, January 30th from 12:30 to 1:30, and that's part of our fatherhood program that we have, where we're encouraging dads to, kind of take a more active part with the kids at the early childhood level. We do also, though, encourage moms or grandparents to come to these events also. So with this one, it'll be Dad, bowling with the kids, and then later on in February, we have a Dad's Book Club. And we've done that before, but this one's just a one-night special, so you'll have to tune in to find out what featured book will be shared that night.
Oh, so you're not going to tell us now?
Not yet.
It's a secret. It's a secret. So and just a side note, there is a ton of stuff going on regarding reading overall in this upcoming programming.
With literacy, yeah, we have to stay tuned. There'll be some fun stuff later on this spring.
Yes, and what else?
Also, we do have a new class that we're just starting up this year. We have our mixed ages that's been running for several years, very popular class that includes children birth to 5 years old coming with a parent or guardian. What we're doing now is starting one that's meeting on Fridays, and that will be starting out with children 3 to 5 years old with a parent. We might expand that later to include all ages with the kids of 0 to 5, but right now we're just starting out with the 3 to 5 year old, so they could call to get more information about that one also.
So a parent or grandparent could bring them instead of a parent,
Yep.
is that?
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
And what else?
As far as our classes?
As far as any other things you want to mention in regard to classes?
Well, maybe I could just dab a little bit with this spring we have a fun field trip. We haven't been there for a while. We're going to be going to Yunker Farm and the Fargo Zoo all in one day. We've done this before. Yeah, and the kids are pretty tired by the time they leave, but it's fun.
Everybody takes a nap.
Yeah, so the parents can relax on the way back.
That's a good thing. And you talked about a couple of events with featuring dads and their kids, and so I know that you were at a conference recently, so tell me something about what you learned, what really impacted you.
Sure. I just attended the Strong Foundations in Minnesota Fatherhood Summit last week. Even though myself and Cindy Ross, who's the teacher in our program, have been working with families, it just gave us a little bit more information on research-based findings that have to do with fathers and the importance they play in just being involved in children's lives. Also, there was an emphasis on the need for children to have positive parenting from both female and male perspectives, and not necessarily, mom or dad. It could be a grandparent to fill that role. It just kind of balances out what they're exposed to.
Yeah, and what we teach our children, it's, sometimes it's great the time that you're at home or time you're doing things as a family elsewhere, but sometimes do we do better sometimes as parents when we get a break and get to go somewhere else, is kind of my thought.
Well, yeah, and I think, just as far as parenting, to take advantage if you have somebody else there with you, if it's dad or a grandparent or somebody, kids just benefit from the different perspectives that each offer.
And to have the event already organized is my thought is, sometimes we think about doing those things and making time and taking time as parents to do those things, and we just don't.
Right.
And so the fact that these things are events that are lined up, and you call and you register and you can come and just enjoy the event rather than the preparations.
Right. We take care of the messes.
It's a good thing. Thank you. Spotlight on Frazee. It's been a great week. Have a good one, folks. Thanks.